What is up, everybody? So welcome back. I know it's been a long time since there's been an episode up on my channel. I want to actually talk to you guys a little bit about that and just kind of break down what's been happening and why I stopped making YouTube videos for a little while, and now that I'm back, what's the plan going to be. So let's jump right into it. So, over the past few months, there's been a lot of changes that I've been going through as a creative. So just trying to figure out what the dynamic of the channel is going to be from now on was kind of difficult. That kind of paired with the things that I was doing. So just to give you some context, I started this whole channel pretty much right around the time that kind of COVID was starting up, right? And everything was happening. And, you know, to break it down, I got laid off of my other job, and I was just getting back into the freelance world and just really trying to decide what I wanted to do in this area. And when I posted my walkaway video, it was kind of that first glimpse of like, okay, maybe I can do this, because the reaction and the reception to it was so great. So I decided to really kind of double down on that, and it worked really well. I got involved politically. I started using my channel to talk about things like, conservatism and republicanism, and to document the events that I was going to, like Blexit events and CPAC and all these things. And the more I started doing it, the more I started realizing that there's so much opportunity in this creative space on YouTube, and there's so many things that I could be doing, not to mention the fact that, this channel is primarily a Christian channel. So there's a lot more that I could be doing in that area. On the heels of the 2020 election and Joe Biden winning the presidency, the traffic for political content has gone down. And I'm just going to be real. Like that's one of the big things that was driving my content before, and that paired with big tech censorship and all of this stuff that's happening has really put me in a place where, I want to talk about politics and I really love it and I'm passionate about it, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be as rewarding as I would like to. That, and on top of the fact, I've started to work within the political sphere as an editor, and I'm working with journalists and in journalism and that whole industry now, and that's one of the reasons that my channel was slowed down a lot. When I took on a job a few months ago that was supposed to be kind of like a day-to-day thing, it ended up being a really great opportunity, and I decided to do it full time for a lot of reasons, which I won't get into because they're really personal. Not that you'd be interested in them. There's nothing crazy, but I decided that would be best for me for the time being. After a lot of praying, after a lot of thought, after a lot of, events that have happened in my personal life, I kind of decided that I would start this channel up again, but it wasn't going to look the same. I know that for a lot of you guys, one of the reasons that you watch the channel is to get to see interviews, right? To see me talk to people about ideas, whether that be politically or theologically and all this stuff. And even though I love doing that, that becomes a job in itself. And if you run a podcast or if you work in marketing or in content, you understand what I mean when I say it's a whole job in itself to book the guests, to make sure the guests are on time, to make sure the guests are compatible with you. And then if a guest wants something specific done to the footage afterward, I have to make sure to do that. And mind you, I'm a one-man crew here, so I'm editing my stuff. I'm recording my stuff. All my equipment is my own. Everything that you see is mine. So all of that really leads to extra production time that I could be uploading more videos for you guys. So what I've decided to do is really switch the dynamic, and what it's going to look like now is going to kind of become more clear as I do it. But I think, and what I've been thinking about, and I've gotten confirmation on it, I'm going to be doing a lot more just direct to camera talking videos about cultural subject matters, or, maybe maybe things that have to do with theology or specific Bible verses. And I'm really going to be taking that avenue because I think it's more important right now that we get grounded in who we are as Christians, and also that we get some context on what it means to be a Christian, especially in today's society, the way things are working with, social justice and all of these crazy movements. I want to be sure that I'm saying my piece when it comes to what a Christian looks like in the context of that today. So that's really what this channel is going to be looking towards more. I'm going to be talking about kind of the stuff that I talk about on Instagram. If you're not following me over there, very much cultural topics that somehow interlock with Christianity. Watching people that inspire me, like Alan Parr and Ruslan and even Stephen Bancars and stuff like that. It's kind of opened up my eyes to this kind of emerging scene that I'm seeing for Christian YouTubers, and I really want to be a part of that, and I really want to jump into that and have my say in that, and also learn, because I think that's one of the biggest perks about doing something like this, is that you really get to learn when you're asking those questions, and it's one of the reasons that teachers, like the Bible says, teachers are held to a higher standard, because you really have to know what you're talking about in order to teach. So I want to know what I'm talking about, and I want to learn from people that are way smarter than me and that understand theology in a way that I don't. So all that to say this, it's true. Republicanism, I've become disillusioned with it. Politics, I've become disillusioned with. My initial goal was to be able to bring the gospel to people who consider themselves conservatives or Republicans, but aren't necessarily Christians. And I think that the most effective way to stay on course with that is to switch up my style of content, because the 1 hour podcast model is just not working. And it's a big ask for people, which is, another, I guess, thread to that whole process when you're doing the hour-long podcast, is that post-production is you have to cut it down to 10, 15-minute clips. And that's just something now with my full-time job and all the other stuff that I'm doing and how I'm serving in my church, it becomes very, very hard to find the time to do that as well. So I'm going to be doing, 15 to 20 minute episodes from now on. I'm trying to get up weekly, hopefully more than once a week. And hopefully there'll be streamlined things like this, where I don't have to do much editing, but I will have kind of some preset aesthetics that I could just plug and play. And that's really what it's going to look like. As far as the topics go, I still want your feedback. I still want you to be able to tell me what it is that you want me to talk about, even if it's politics. Like, I'm okay with talking about politics. It's just not going to be a primarily interview-driven channel anymore. And I think that's important because I need to be sustainable. One of my big models, one of my big mantras, if you will, for lack of a better term, is sustainability. Can I keep doing what I'm doing at an excellent level, or as excellent as I can be, for an extended amount of time? And if the answer is no, then it's not worth me doing. So I want to be able to do that and do it right, because you guys deserve the best, especially my very small group of Patreon people out there holding me down. I want to be able to offer you guys more. So that's why I'm here. I'm not going to be doing interviews as much. If it's somebody really special, if somebody that I really, really want to talk to and the opportunity presents itself, I'd be more than willing to. But it's not going to be something that I'm booking and striving to do all the time. So I hope that's all right. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you know that this was not an easy decision for me, but it's definitely something that I've prayed about, I've sought wisdom about, I've thought about, I've weighed the options, and this is what I can do right now and what I can do excellently right now. So all that being said, let me know what you think. Drop some comments. Let me know what subjects I should start talking about. Obviously I would, if I were already doing this, I would have been talking about the Kanye Donda drop and the Nicki Minaj thing that's happening in conservatism, and all of these kind of cultural things that are happening that intersect with Christianity and politics and all that. So those are the kind of things that I want to cover. I don't want this to become like a vaccine watch, COVID watch thing. Like, that's just not what I'm about as a channel. I want to talk faith. I want to talk theology, and I really want to set a conversation that is eternal in nature. And by that I mean conversation that can help your soul and that can connect you to heaven. So all that being said, thank you guys for holding it down for an awesome couple of years of content and engagement and just like supporting my content and helping me learn and just being awesome and being always there. If you haven't subscribed, I know like 50%, 60% of people that watch this aren't subscribed yet. Give me a subscribe and let me know what expectations you have of the channel, and I'll make sure to try and meet them as much as I can. Make sure you give this a like, share it with somebody, let them know that there's a channel coming out, you know, part of the whole Christian YouTuber thing, and you know, just do your thing. If you made it this far, you're the real MVP. Thank you guys so much for holding it down, and we'll talk soon. I'm going to start posting as early as this week, so we'll talk soon. Leave a comment as to what my very first video should look like in this new era. All right, peace, guys.